Well, hello there. It is Victoria Day Monday, May 20th. Here's what we're working on. A garage fire has caused a lot of damage to a home in Grimsby.
Hamilton's public transit system celebrating 150 years.
And Sheena Easton is coming to Fallsview Casino. And good morning to you, Brian Wood. You are not going to be busy, hopefully, today.
No.
Traffic?
Not in the traffic department. No. Not a lot going on this morning. And of course, that's the way holiday Mondays or holidays usually are.
What a fabulous weekend, though. Like, I can't remember a May 2-4 weekend that was that nice.
Yes.
Like, every day. We were up north and it was beautiful. Black flies were not nice, but everything else besides the bugs, it was spectacular.
Yeah, it took a while to clear on Saturday. It started out to be fairly cloudy, but yesterday, what a beautiful day. Today, and we're going to start ramping up the heat, as a matter of fact. No heat advisories, but we're going to hit 29 degrees today with a humidex of 35. Tomorrow, we should hit 30 with a humidex of 36, so it's going to be sticky. However, today, beautiful. No problems for Victoria Day. Absolutely gorgeous. Mainly sunny skies. Little bit of a light southerly breeze, but warm temperatures, so it should be good tonight for fireworks. Tomorrow, there's a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm as the day progresses. But yeah, going to be fairly muggy for the next couple of days. Then it's going to cool off. Talk about that coming up. Shall we look at traffic? Just see what's going on here this morning. Nothing. 403 Waterdown Road. Very, very light volume there. And generally, that's how it is this morning. Not a lot happening on our MTO traffic cameras. Here's Nikola Tesla Boulevard, Toronto bound, away from us. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge on the Burlington side, so we're looking down toward North Shore Boulevard. Nothing there. Same with Appleby Line. Nothing going on here this morning. At all, as we say. So we'll look at weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. We start off with a tense situation in the village of York, where police were on scene for hours yesterday trying to get a handle on an uncertain situation. A release from the OPP says they were called to the village between Caledonia and Cayuga just before 9 yesterday morning. Witnesses told CHCH that there was an armed man on a small island in the Grand River. They say he was calling for help throughout the morning and was shooting a shotgun in the air. Police appeared to be preparing for a standoff, but it turned out that the man needed to be rescued. Police say he was injured after a round of ammo exploded in a fire and that no firearm was involved in this incident. A 56-year-old man was taken into custody before being airlifted to a trauma center with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police have not said if he's actually going to be facing charges.
I want to take you to Grimsby now because the weekend shooting has led to an arrest there. This happened on Saturday night around 6 in a home near Livingston Avenue and Roberts Road in Grimsby. Niagara police say a 37-year-old man was treated and released after being shot in an accidental misfire. That same man is now facing several charges, including careless use of a firearm.
Still in Grimsby, fires tore through a house on George Street there. The call came in around 7 o'clock last night. Crews found a lot of smoke coming from the garage. It appears to have spread throughout the attic. Nobody was at home at the time. The fire was under control within an hour, and crews stayed on scene to monitor any hot spots. Video shows extensive damages throughout the home, with no word yet on expected costs or what the cause may have been.
Let's bring you to Hamilton, and members of the Hamilton arts sector are calling for an overhaul of the city's grant system.
Look, at the Cree elders at the edge of the parade ground. Oh, I wish you could see them as I see them.
Our fringe staff. Each year, the fringe is made popular.
The executive director of the Hamilton Festival Theatre Company, which runs Hamilton Fringe, says the way funds are handed out through the city's enrichment fund is leaving many organizations in a desperate situation. The fund hands out more than $7 million in grants to over 400 applicants. Christopher Stanton says the money is handed out more like a math problem instead of looking at the impact of each organization.
Here's a look at what's open and closed on this Victoria Day. LCBO banks and most grocery stores won't open today, but some select beer stores will be open. Canada Post, public libraries, most government offices closed as well. Buses in Hamilton and Burlington are running on a Sunday sched, and transportation in Niagara Falls and St. Catharines is on reduced schedules. Garbage recycling and green cart collection has been pushed back one day, but in Niagara region there will be no changes to curbside collection. If you're looking for something to do today, a lot of tourist destinations will be open, including the Art Gallery of Hamilton, the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum, and the Royal Botanical Gardens. In Niagara, Clifton Hill, the Niagara Parks facilities, and the Outlet Collection at Niagara will also be open. Well, Hamilton's public transit system is celebrating 150 years this week, and you could see some retro buses out on the road today. Sean Cowan is at McNabb at the transit terminal there with more.
Good morning, Annette. Well, if you wanted to catch a bus 150 years ago, you weren't actually catching a bus, you were catching a horse. That's right, I'll explain more in a bit. But today, you can ride any bus in the city of Hamilton for just $1.50, but there is a way you can also ride for free. The HSR has retro-wrapped a few of its buses. If you spot one today, the ride is free. And all day today, it's only $1.50 to ride any bus in the city. And the city of Hamilton says more $1.50 days are planned for later this year. Now, in May of 1874, the city entered the modern era. Yes, calling it the modern era, when the first Hamilton Street Railway horse-drawn streetcar took to city streets, making it one of the longest-running transit agencies in Canada. The streetcar ran on rails and was pulled by horses. The HSR started service with 6 streetcars and 22 horses, with 3 half-miles of tracks. The earliest vehicles seated 14 passengers. Now, by the mid-1920s, it had become apparent that motor buses would be more efficient than streetcars on some routes. By August of 1926, buses ran on the Balmoral main route, with Cannon the following year. And in 1960, the city of Hamilton purchased the HSR and Canada Coach Lines, and the Hamilton Transit Commission was established to operate the organization. 17 years later, the company came under the jurisdiction of the regional municipality of Hamilton-Wentworth, known as the City of Hamilton today. So I was just chatting with one of the bus drivers here in downtown Hamilton, and he says he's noticed a couple of those retro wrap buses. He told me that one is parked right now at the GO station downtown Hamilton and will be making its way over to Barton Street. So I'm going to try and go catch up with that bus, and I'll send it back inside to you for now.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Sean. Slow start on this holiday Monday. Not too much going on there. Lots going on in sports and lots going on tonight when it comes to the NHL. No games on the NHL ice last night. All eyes on Vancouver, though, tonight for Game 7 between the Oilers and Canucks. We'll tee that one up in a little bit. Blue Jays trying to avoid getting swept at home against the Rays. And Alek Manoah trying to find his old form.
And is he fired up? Manoah with 7 scoreless innings.
Yeah, Manoah finally starting to look like the pitcher who was a Cy Young finalist 2 years ago. After a good outing last Sunday but didn't get the win, he put it all together against Tampa yesterday, striking out 7 in 7 innings and not allowing a run. In his first win since last August, Jays offense was led by Daniel Vogelbach, who had 3 hits and 3 runs. George Springer chipped in with a couple of hits. The new spot in the batting order for him. Jays avoid getting swept by the Rays. They take this one 5-2. They now welcome the Chicago White Sox into town for an afternoon affair on this holiday Monday.
Oh, there's a steal by Edwards. Here he comes, and there he goes.
Well, the defending champs from Denver seem to have things under control in Game 7 of their series with the Minnesota Timberwolves, leading by 20 in the second half on their home floor. But give Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves credit. They just kept pushing, and they came all the way back to beat Jamal Murray and the Nugs 98-90, which was the biggest comeback in Game 7 NBA history. No repeat for Denver as they head home. Minnesota is off to play Dallas, who eliminated Shea and the Thunder on Saturday night.
All 5 starters in double figures for the Pacers. Another steal on the inbounds, counted on a foul.
Yeah, the NBA Final Four is complete as the Indiana Pacers became the first road team to win in this series with the New York Knicks, led by Tyrese Halliburton, who had 26 points. Indiana shot the lights out at the Garden. 67% from the field, scored 130 points to win Game 7 and bounce the Knicks from the postseason. Pascal Siakam now leads the Pacers into Boston to face the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Final.
To win it all.
What a finish at the PGA Championship from Valhalla Golf Club in Louisville, Kentucky. Xander Schauffele, who had won his first ever major title, needing a birdie and to drain that 6-foot putt on the final hole of the day to move to 21 under, one better than Bryson DeChambeau. Schauffele in the record books with the lowest 72-hole score in a major championship history, winning that big old Wanamaker trophy. Listerwell's Corey Connors is the low Canadian, finishing in a tie for 26th at 9 under.
How the goaltenders respond here too, Kenzie. A high shot, and she scores! Jess Healy from the blue line, and Boston regains the lead.
And we finish on the ice in the PWHL Finals featuring Boston and Minnesota. As Minnesota, they ousted Toronto on Friday night if you missed it. So it would be Boston taking game one of the best of 5. Hope to be the first team to lift the Walter Cup. And seeing guys shot from the point in the second period, that was the difference in the 4-3 win for Boston, who is now undefeated in 4 playoff games. Game 2, also from Boston, goes down on Tuesday night.
It is 6:11. It's a holiday Monday morning, and we'll start with traffic. I actually have a problem this morning. What? Holiday Monday morning, this hour? Yeah, nothing here. 403 Waterdown Road area looks good. No problems in the Hamilton area right now. Link, Red Hill Valley Parkway, all really light volume. Here's where we do have a problem. This is the QEW. This is the ramp going to Burl Oak from the Toronto-bound QEW. What we have, and you can just make it out, is a vehicle there into the ditch. It's gone off the ramp going to Burl Oak, and the tow truck is pulling up, trying to get it out of the ditch there, so they've completely blocked the ramp from the Toronto-bound QEW to Burl Oak Drive, either going north or south. So that's going to be a problem until they get that vehicle out of the ditch. So we do have a problem here this morning. Otherwise, there's nothing. Garden City Skyway, Nikola Tesla Boulevard, all the way through the 403 Ford plant, Etobicoke Creek, nothing going on except that ramp closure. Okay, to our temperature right now. Temperature has just come down by a degree. Normally happens around sunrise. We were 16, we're now 15. Winds are calm, humidity is right up there, and it's a partly cloudy start to our Victoria Day. We have that ridge of high pressure. Thank you, ridge of high pressure. You gave us such a gorgeous day yesterday. We got to 26 degrees, light winds, lovely sunshine. What we have is that warm front approaching, and that's giving us a more southerly flow. The winds will be a little stronger today, but the heat and humidity will be higher today. 29, feeling like 35. This is going to be like the summer weekend. And then we're going to get into some instability tomorrow as that low pressure system gets a little bit closer with that frontal boundary. But for Victoria Day, 27 for Niagara, 29, even 30 for Brantford today. Cooler for Burlington and Toronto, but we'll have generally lots of sunshine. It's to the west, could get a shower or thunderstorm. Those showers and thunderstorms could roll in overnight. Not for Niagara, but temperatures anywhere from 15 to 18 to 19, so a warm and muggy night tonight. And then tomorrow, look at the temperatures, 30 degrees. Then you happy? Oh, she's dancing over there because she likes the heat. 30, feeling like 36 tomorrow. A little bit of sunshine in the morning, but then chance of showers and thunderstorms pushing in a little later on in the day. So, but that's Tuesday. Out the door this morning, 20th morning of May. For Victoria Day, it is partly cloudy. Temperature right now, 15. Long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, so as you heard, Emily's very happy about the forecast. What about Chit Chat?
Chit Chat, what? No, I'm kidding. Sheena Easton is going to be performing nearby, so we're going to discuss New Kids on the Block, have a brand new album, and we discuss Paul McCartney and how rich he really is.
Okay. It sounds like a very retro Chit Chat.
Right?
Yeah.
Throwing it back. We'll see you at the couch in a little bit there.
I'll be there.
Okay, after the break.
StatsCan is releasing the latest inflation numbers this week. We'll tell you why investors are paying extra close attention. In overseas trading this morning, the Canadian dollar is down just 1 basis points to 73.46 cents U.S. Gold is up nearly $29. Crude oil fell by 28 cents to $79.30 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are up in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are up in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. North American markets on Friday had some gains on Bay Street anyways. Dow Jones was up 134. There we go. NASDAQ down slightly. I guess Wall Street would be open today, but Bay Street's closed for the holiday.
Well, Canada's latest inflation numbers are coming out tomorrow. The figures could influence the Bank of Canada's next interest rate decision, which is set for June. Economists expect the central bank to start lowering its policy rate in June or July because the economy has clearly slowed in response to higher interest rates. But strong employment figures have shifted expectations around away from an interest rate cut next month, and that makes tomorrow's inflation rate particularly important.
So the cargo ship that hit Baltimore's Key Bridge is finally getting out of the channel. Officials say they're in the process of refloating it and transporting it to a marine terminal, but the crew remains stuck on board this ship, waiting for authorities to let them go. Recent demolition work is what gave the Dali cargo ship a path to freedom, but freeing the ship does not mean freeing its crew members. Regulations have them stuck on board where they've been since the crash. The law requires a ship like the Dali to have a crew on it at all times. Now, the workers' visas have expired, and a union representative says they're waiting for officials to tell them when they can go home. The union also says the FBI confiscated crew members' cell phones last month.
The performers who helped bring Mickey Mouse, Cinderella, and other Disney characters to life at Disneyland have voted to unionize. The Actors Equity Association labor union says cast members at Disney's California theme parks have voted 78% in favor of unionizing. The election took place last week in Anaheim after workers earlier this year filed cards to form the union. They're calling it Magic United. The same performers at Disney World in Florida have been represented by the Teamsters Union for decades.
China's Ministry of Commerce has announced sanctions against Boeing and two other defense companies for their arms sales to Taiwan. The companies include Boeing's Defense, Space and Security Unit, General Atomics, Aeronautical Systems, and General Dynamics Land Systems. So the move is the latest in a series of sanctions that China has announced against defense companies for weapon sales to Taiwan. The likely impact of Beijing sanctions the business is still unclear at this moment, since the United States bars most sales of weapons-related technology to China.
Elon Musk has traveled to the Indonesian resort island of Bali to launch Starlink satellite internet services. Now, for years, Indonesia's government has been trying to encourage another of Musk's companies, Tesla, to build electric vehicle manufacturing plants there. The government wants to develop its EV sector using Indonesia's rich nickel resources. After Musk met with Indonesian President Joko Widodo this morning at the World Water Forum, Indonesia's Minister of Investment says the Tesla CEO will consider building an EV battery plant in the country.
All right, one more for you. South Korea is set to host a mini summit this week on risks and regulation of artificial intelligence. They take place today and tomorrow and follow an inaugural AI safety meeting in Britain that drew a diverse crowd of tech luminaries, researchers, and officials. This happened late last year. So the gatherings in Seoul aims to build on works that looks to rein in threats posed by cutting-edge systems. It will feature a leaders' virtual summit co-chaired by the leaders of South Korea and the UK, as well as an in-person meeting of digital ministers.
Okay, taking a quick break right now. Brian is going to be back with your traffic. Yes, there is an issue on the roads this morning. Also, your 7-day forecast.
Warming up.
Good morning, 6:24 on the 20th morning of May. Yeah, we do have a problem here this morning. Holiday Monday, there's no volume, no problems except for this. This was a vehicle that went off into the ditch. So what happened was the tow truck, flatbed tow truck, got the vehicle out of the ditch. It is now up on the flatbed, so it's pulled it off the grass there. But they still have it blocked. They'll get that vehicle secured, and they'll get that ramp open soon. So that will mean that we have no problems. Look at the Garden City Skyway West. Nothing there. Top of the Burlington Skyway, both directions. Then going through Burlington Oakville, we have that. Lorne Park is wide open, and so was the 403 at Huron, Ontario. Really not a lot happening this morning. Please take it carefully on this holiday Monday. The sun is going to be in your eyes. The sun is up already. Check the temperatures that we have. 15 degrees Hamilton, Grimsby, Mississauga. 14 for Toronto right now. Seasonals for this time of year are 8 for the overnight low. 20 for the daytime high. We got to 26 yesterday. Those are our sun times and our records for today. And yeah, we are going to see the sun. It's going to be a beautiful Victoria day. On the warm side for this time of year, 29, humidex 35 in that sunshine. Very high UV index today. Be careful. 19 overnight. We could get a shower or a thunderstorm. Tomorrow, once again, we could get a shower or a thunderstorm. We'll see some sunshine, but look at that temperature. 30, humidex 36. Temperature stays on the warm side, but clouds and showers for Wednesday. Then things cool off, come down to seasonal. 20, at least we have the sunshine for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Chance of showers Sunday. That's your forecast. Annette. Tim.
All right, thanks, Brian. So a team of international astronomers have discovered a giant planet that is light as cotton candy.
The planet is known as WASP 193b. Researchers say it's about 50% larger than Jupiter, but only about 1/10 as dense. The scientists believe it's mostly made up of hydrogen and helium rather than solids, and that's why they describe it as being super fluffy, just like cotton candy. The exoplanet is about 1,200 light years away from Earth. It's the second lightest planet ever discovered. Study authors aren't sure how WASP 193b was formed, but say it could be key to future research investigating atypical planetary formation.
Just rolls right off the tongue, too. WASPs.
Yeah.
193b. 193b.
What's 193a?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cotton candy, though. My kids had no idea what cotton candy was until producer Tansy introduced them to it at the Bulldogs game. Now they've gone down the rabbit hole. They've never looked back. Thank you, producer Tansy.
That's awesome,
They were good
Tansy.
kids before then. Now they're hooked.
First one's always free.
Now they're hooked on this cotton candy. They're going to be interested in that. Okay, hey, how are you? It's Holiday Monday. Maybe you have to work today. Maybe you don't. Whatever you're up to, we're glad you're here. We'll get to everything you need to know right after this.